Hello and welcome to another live chat here on LinkedIn Live, where you can find us every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. My name is Xenia Pola. I'll be your host today. And for those always following every Thursday, please feel free to give a shout out or ask questions in the comments. We'll be acknowledging every one of you. And thank you so much for continually participating with us. And
I think we lost Xenia there for a moment. You're back.
And I'm back. Hey, Brad. Before we get started, could you just quickly introduce yourself and Air Canada?
Thanks, Xenia. Of course. Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me. So my name is Brad Sutherland, and I look after business development at Air Canada. So I've been working at Air Canada for 6 years now, although the last 2 have felt like an eternity. A bit about me. So I worked in the world of finance after university, and then I realized that travel was the industry to be in, and I made the move across. So I've been at Air Canada now for 6 years, and I started off managing corporate accounts and corporate contracts, and then moved over to the business development team in December 2019. So just in time for all the fun to start. So for those of you that don't know, I'm sure you do, and I'm sure you're familiar with Air Canada, but just wanted to give you a little background on us if you haven't flown us or you're not familiar with us. But Air Canada, we are a top 20 global airline. So we are in the top 20, the largest airlines in the world. We are the largest airline within Canada. We're the largest airline from Canada to international, and we're also the largest airline in the US-Canada market. So with flights between the United States and Canada, which itself is pretty much the biggest by-country flight market in the world. So we are one of the largest. We're a top 20 largest airline in the world. Before COVID, we served about 200 destinations around the world and 50 million passengers. The good news, and I'll get into this in a bit, is we're coming back strong, and a lot of those destinations are back. It's really exciting. We are this week and next week, we will be back up to almost 50 cities in the US from Canada. So things are coming back, and we just relaunched Australia, which makes us one of the few airlines in the world that services all 6 inhabited continents. So that's a bit about Air Canada. It's good to see things are turning in the right direction, new horizons. So that's just a bit about us.
And thank you so much, Brad. A quick shout out also to our audience. Thank you, Sentel, for joining us on this lovely evening from Amsterdam. And great to see you also in this platform. I just had a call with James just half hour ago. And you have some fans in the audience, Brad, because you are one good-looking guest. And great to have you on the show with us today. Thank you all. Please keep those shout outs coming, and also questions, because we are diving straight in. You've already alluded a little bit to it. What was the biggest change for Air Canada coming out of this pandemic?
Yeah, so honestly, like I said, so when I started my new role in December 2019, we had been on the up and up and up. So every year, we had been announcing new routes. Our passenger numbers were growing. We had been on in such a good direction, and obviously overnight that literally stopped. So a ton of changes took place, but obviously in past events and past industry, huge events that happened in the industry, like 9/11, SARS, they were more, obviously they were offense, but they were short-lived, and COVID obviously has not been. So really for us, that was the biggest change, was how do we adapt and how do we pivot? And I know that's a word that I think a lot of us are tired of hearing, pivoting, and certainly that's something that we had to do. So I think for us, the good thing has been the leisure travel has come back rather quickly. So the biggest change was, in the past, the corporate travel, meetings and event space, that's the best travel, right? Because it's usually higher yielding. It's corporate travel, so sometimes they're sitting up front. The leisure travel is the stuff that we usually fill the back of the plane with. The people that are sitting in economy, the people that buy their tickets 365 days out, that are planning. It's not the corporate travelers that are the last minute ones. And unfortunately for an airline, in order to service all the destinations that we do, we need a mix. We need a mix of leisure and the corporate. So for us, watching that corporate travel disappear literally overnight and slowly coming back has been the biggest change for us. So I think right now we're really encouraged by people going back to offices, by events happening again. So, I mean, having ICA Congress in person, IMEX, other big events that are in person, I think are really leading the way and getting back. But definitely for us, it's been a shift from really counting on those corporate travelers to looking at leisure and saying, what do we do here? And just for us, we launched some new routes during COVID to leisure destinations that we hadn't serviced before. We launched new flights into the Middle East, into Doha, into Cairo, that were very leisure focused, visiting family, friends, and relatives that weren't necessarily on our radar before. So really, we've had to shift and adapt. We're doing cargo now. We have cargo freighters, which is brand new. And my team during COVID ended up selling cargo. So we went from selling corporate and MICE and incentive travel to selling space for vaccines and for face masks. So it's been a change. So I think it's constantly evolving, and if anything, it's made our business stronger coming out of this, because if we can deal with what we've done for the last 2 years, certainly we can deal with pretty much anything coming our way.
Thank you. And that's actually quite a positive message for all of us, how resilient we have been as an industry. There was a question, I believe Glenn is asking that you did touch on some elements. Is there anything else you want to share with our North American audience, but also with our global audience, about some of your refreshed meetings and convention efforts?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, so we are actually relatively new to ICA, and we joined ICA right before the pandemic, and I'm so glad that we're still members and part of this community, because it's great to see everyone from suppliers to customers, everyone working together to rebuild our industry. So I think, again, during COVID, it really gave us an opportunity to step back and take a look at what we were doing in the meetings and event space. So I'm lucky to work with a great team who you will all meet at events. Graciela, who I know is watching, and Rena. So we have a great team that we work with to kind of reimagine what we're doing in the MICE space. And I think the first thing for us to do, the first thing that we did was we, again, took a step back and we said, MICE is not just one thing. We have incentives, we have giant meetings, we have family weddings that are group travel. And it really is separate from our group's travel. It's MICE we do treat differently. But again, we had to look at the different components there. So what we've done, so we've reimagined our Air Canada for meetings and events, is what we call it. If any of you are familiar with it, we do have a discount program. So it's so easy. The small plug here is that you go to aircanada.com/meetings. You can register your event and you get a discount code. And that's the program that we had before. What we've done is we now have more of a customized program. So you can come to me or to my team, and we can work with you to provide you other incentives, other things that are needed to help make traveling with us easier. So we've been working with customers. If we want to give some special VIP services to someone, we'll do stuff like that. Where I also think we've made a change, and what's really exciting is we're working with DMO partners a lot more closely. So obviously here in Canada, we're working with Destination Canada and with many of the regional DMOs, destination marketing organizations, to really help them win business. Oftentimes when we look at the MICE kind of sphere of all different organizations that are involved, we have the DMOs, we have the venues, the hotels, convention centers, PCOs, a bunch of different organizations that come together. And oftentimes we have found that the airline part is missing. So we've been working with DMOs, like I said, with venues to really be more proactive in helping them win business. I think in the past we were very reactive, and I think that's something that's quite common in the airline industry, where we kind of come at the last minute and try and get the business that we can. What we've done is we've shifted, and we're in the process of shifting to be more proactive. So working with our industry partners, working with the destination marketing organizations to help sell the cities, to help be an integral piece of the puzzle, and to show why the lift part is just as important as the number of hotel rooms, as the venue space. Because when you get on a plane and you're traveling from Paris to Ottawa, we want to make sure that when you get on in Paris, that the hospitality that you're going to get in Ottawa starts from when you board the plane in Paris, and we're really an extension of that journey. So we have some exciting things that we're working on, like I said, with destination partners, both in Canada and United States. So if there's anyone that we haven't spoken to and you want to work more closely with us, please, we're an open door. We're a small but mighty team, and we want to work with you. So again, we're doing a lot in the space, but really we want to be more proactive, and we want to help our partners to win events, to bring events back to their markets, and be a part of that. So lots of ideas, lots of things to talk about with individuals.
I love it, Brad. And I'm not sure if you're seeing the chat, but our chat is actually blowing up tonight. I'm seeing also Marta from LOT headquarters in Warsaw is saying hello to you.
Hi, Marta.
As well as Stefan from Germany. So we are very global today in our reach. Thank you all for joining in. I'm diving straight into a question from James, because that it was also on one of the questions which we were going to touch on, and that's sustainability is front and center for business event. How is Air Canada responding to the demands of sustainable travel?
That is a fantastic question. So I will run off a few of the things that we're doing, but I think really it's been a company-wide effort. And internally at Air Canada, we have corporate pillars and corporate strategies and things that are important to us, and our sustainability efforts have entered into the equation as one of our top corporate pillars. And it's funny because I will say a few things that Air Canada is doing, but when I go to meetings, especially with our partners, so as a founding member of Star Alliance, we work closely with many of our airline partners, and I was at a meeting recently with ANA, with Lufthansa, with United. I felt like we were all competing over each other to say who has the best sustainability strategy and what we're all doing in the space. And I think it's a really good thing, because we're all elevating each other and showing that the industry is responding kind of as one, which I think is exciting. So for us, it is really exciting, and we have put out a commitment to be carbon neutral by 2050. In 2007, we were one of the first airlines globally to offer carbon offset programs to our customers. And we started doing that in 2007, and that program has grown ever since. We've been integral in the biofuel market. So trying to establish a market for biofuel, which we've done some biofuel flights, but really it takes an industry to get behind this calling and to get biofuel more mainstream. We were very lucky in 2018. We were named the Eco Airline of the Year, from ATW, from Air Transport World, just recognizing kind of all the things that we're doing. And really, there's 4 different ways we're doing it. So in our Leave Less strategy, there's 4 ways that we're 4 things that we're doing to reach our goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2050. So the first one is through SAF, so Sustainable Aviation Fuel. We have a SAF program that, again, if you're a partner with us, we'd love to have that conversation and help you buy SAF to offset your travel. We have carbon offsets as well, like I mentioned, and that's a great program that we have available. Through innovation, we're doing tons of things on the ground. A lot of what we do is from our ground operations as well. Obviously, we're a big airline. We have a lot of employees. Just recently, our car program in Toronto that takes some of our super elite passengers from the door to the aircraft. We just moved to partner with Porsche to put electric vehicles on the ground. So we're doing stuff like that. And then finally, I think this is a huge thing is modernizing our fleet. So we just announced we're getting the 321neo We have Airbus A220s. So we're really rebuilding our fleet, which is really a win-win for everyone. It's a win for the environment because we have more efficient aircraft, but it's also a win for our customers because they get brand new aircraft to fly on, and for our staff and for everyone else. So that's just a few of the things we're doing. One of the other exciting things we're doing is that I find really interesting is our plastic strategy. And of course, COVID threw all of that up in the air because, as we all know, COVID has produced a lot of waste with masks and plastics and different safety protocols that have to go into place. But we're back on track with our plastics strategy. And just one of the things we did before, we had plastic stir sticks in planes, which were really cool, little red plastic stir sticks with our logo on top. And we phased those out for bamboo. But we're doing a lot of different things to phase out plastics on board. So again, lots of exciting things happening. And we do have a corporate document outlining our Leave Less strategy. So I encourage anyone, if you are interested, it can be downloaded on our website. It has lots of cool information about the things we're doing. But again, I think it's exciting to note that it's not just us. It really is an industry-wide initiative, and every airline is doing a lot to become carbon neutral. I know IATA has put out different goals they're attempting to meet. So again, it's exciting to see that not just us stepping up, but our partners as well.
And I think that's something which was new for me to hear today, and probably for some in the audience as well, is that it's not only reserved for the flying portion, but that you're doing a lot on the ground in that respect as well. And I see somebody is totally advocating that feeling of the pickup where you're feeling like a rock star. And that's Glenn. And I can imagine probably because of his lovely sparkly shoes on top of it as well. There was also another question from the audience, which we would like if you could talk to. With the Pride Month coming up, how is Air Canada shifting the conversation on diversity and inclusion in the industry?
Awesome. Great question, and something that I could talk at lengths about. So I think really internally, so we obviously, like many organizations, have different committees, and we have a Pride committee internally. We've done a lot of different things to help engage our employees. So specific to Pride, for example, I think what we're trying to establish is really an authentic, and I know this is what every organization is trying to do, but an authentic commitment to the community. And for us, speaking to employees, I've sat in employee groups about this topic and others. Really, we want to be more authentic than just showing up at a Pride parade or one event in June, which obviously is a big piece of it because, again, it's an opportunity for us to show our company culture and have it on display, but also gives the opportunity for employees to engage. So we are luckily we're going to be appearing back at 6 Pride festivals across Canada this year, which is really exciting. But we've also done a few other initiatives, just again to be more authentic, to give our employees an opportunity to engage year round. So one example I love to pull up on supporting the LGBTQ+ community is our support of Rainbow Railroad. So for those of you that don't know, Rainbow Railroad is an organization that brings anyone who's basically threatened, refugees in different countries where they aren't accepted, usually to Canada, sometimes to the United States, to Europe, but really they bring LGBTQ+ refugees to new homes. And we got behind them a few years ago because they're a Canadian-based organization. They help people around the world, and it allows us to play into our strengths, because what do these refugees need? They need to get to a safe place. So we've been supporting them for a while now with Aeroplan Points, which is our frequent flyer program. So something like that is just one example of how we're working with the community. So obviously showing up at a Pride event is great and gives our employees a way to engage and support, but also partnering with organizations like Rainbow Railroad really give us the opportunity to do what we're good at and help the community. So it is exciting, and we've done a number of different things just in the D&I space. I think we've really, as many organizations have, we've really taken things more seriously in recent years. even one thing I'd love to point out for Black History Month recently, we did a bunch of different initiatives. We had our first flight operated by all Black employees. So whether they were on the ground, cleaning the plane, flying the plane, the flight attendants, the customer service agents, everyone supporting in the background. We were able to bring the community together with that. We gave our Twitter over to Black employees to share their stories and experiences. So again, it's not just Air Canada that's doing this. I know a lot of airlines are doing this, and it's great for employees. And I can speak candidly, it's great for us to see, because we want to work at an organization that reflects our values. So again, lots and lots of things that we're doing. It's really exciting, and it's I could talk about it all day.
Thank you so much, Brad. And I really love that our conversation is showcasing so much more than just, flights and challenges, but it really showcases the values. And James is also saying thank you for your response, because that was really very comprehensive and great to hear. We are really almost out of time, so I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to a shout out to Air Canada for supporting the North America Summit. What can delegates expect from the support of Air Canada for our summit in Ottawa?
Awesome. Thanks, Sonia. Yeah, no, we're really excited to see everyone in Ottawa. I know Glenn will be very excited to welcome everyone in as well. And I think, like I said before, we want to, for those that are flying Air Canada, which we encourage you all to do, we really want to start the hospitality and the spirit of Ottawa when you get on the plane, wherever you're coming from. So we are supporting, obviously, with a discount. So I know that's been shared with people that have registered. So we are offering a discount for those that are flying to Ottawa on Air Canada. And again, if you're coming from anywhere in North America or even beyond, there's a good chance we serve where you're coming from. So we're offering that discount. We'll also be there on site. Graciela will be there. I'm hoping to be there as well. So we will be there in Ottawa, and we invite all of you to come chat with us. We'd love to hear what you're doing and how we can work together. So anything else, again, if there's, I don't want to put myself on record here, but if there are any problems or any issues or any questions that you have about your travel, if you're going to fly Air Canada, please don't hesitate to reach out, because we really want to make sure if you are flying Air Canada and maybe it's your first time, we want to make sure that you have a great experience on board our aircraft and through our airports. So we're really excited to welcome everyone to Ottawa. It will be a great event, and it's a great city. I love Ottawa, and Glenn, you'll thank me for saying this. Sometimes Ottawa has a reputation for being a boring city, but I must say Ottawa is fantastic. Has a great food scene, great nightlife, great live entertainment. Obviously, as Canada's capital, it has all the great museums and everything else. So if you haven't been to Ottawa as well, it is a fantastic place. So we're really excited to see everyone there.
And you're setting us up for the final question. Any favorite foods, restaurants?
So so food, yes, I like everything. And I think this has been a problem in COVID, because I'm trying to fit back into my suits, and it's been a struggle. So I'm sure many of you can relate. But I'm really lucky. So living here in Toronto, for those of you that haven't been, Toronto's really lucky that we have pretty much every food from every corner of the world here. And I often get in trouble with friends, because I'll say, we'll travel somewhere and I'll say, that was really good, but we have just as good or better at home. Restaurants in Toronto, again, if anyone ever comes here, please reach out, because I have a whole list. But there's two fantastic restaurants in Toronto I'll plug. One is called Biblos, which is a Middle Eastern restaurant. It's fantastic, exceptional food. And the other one is called Nervosa, which is an Italian restaurant, and they have the best mushroom pasta, hands down, anywhere I've ever had. So I definitely enjoy eating it. I'm not sure I could cook much to save my life, but I definitely enjoy all the restaurants our city has to offer.
Excellent. And I see Glenn is really appreciative of the big plug for Ottawa and said the check is in the mail. So let us know when it gets here. And that was it for today. For more information, please feel free to visit the Air Canada website, aircanada.com. And I assume our audience can get in touch with you via LinkedIn if they want to chat more, because I think you're really a great small team to support both the DMO side as well as the meeting planner side. So please feel free, everybody, to reach out to Brad. And that leaves me with saying goodbye to everybody. And if anybody wants to be on the show as a guest, please feel free to email me at xenia.p@ecoworld.org. It was such a pleasure to have you here, Brad. Thank you so much. And everybody, you can join me next week at 2 p.m. Eastern, when I will be chatting with Melissa Cole and the changing environment from the planner perspective. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.